They sent me a $5,000 donation. I was shocked. How does that happen?
That's why it's so incredibly powerful. When you change the lens in which you view yourself, everything changes. There's a part of you that is disconnected from the limitless potential of your creative possibility. Life is a mirror, and if we look within, what is it that is contributing to the result? Then we open ourselves to the magic and the pure possibility of what can come into our field when we don't need to figure it out. Just allow it to magically appear.
If you've been here for a while, you will know that throughout this YouTube journey, I have tried so many different healing modalities, spiritual practices, meditation methods, and manifestation techniques. I have tried it all. But there is one type of hypnotherapy technique that I tried a few years ago and never documented or shared publicly. And it turns out that this specific method was one of the most impactful things that I've tried and actually helped me manifest $5,000. So I'm going to try and explain this backstory as quickly and efficiently as I possibly can. So about 4 years ago, I was visiting home and my mom told me that I needed to meet this woman named Raquel because we were both into very witchy, spiritual, woo-woo things. So I meet Raquel and she starts telling me about her work as a hypnotherapist and how she uses this very specific hypnotherapy technique called Rapid Transformational Therapy, or RTT. And RTT is supposed to help you rewire your subconscious mind to actually create tangible results in your life rapidly, hence the name Rapid Transformational Therapy. I was so curious and I knew I wanted to try it, so I booked a session with her, but just for personal reasons, not to document it. So we do the session and it's very deep and emotional, and then it includes this custom hypnosis track that you listen to every day for 30 days following the session. At the time, I was just starting to do Skylife full time and I was struggling to support myself financially and figure out how to do this as a full-time job. I was struggling a lot with worthiness around getting to do what I love as a career and being able to financially make it work, and just the worthiness of getting to live my dream life. So I do the hypnosis every day for 30 days and I honestly didn't expect anything to happen. I definitely started to feel better. I started to feel more worthy. I started to feel the things that we worked on rewiring, but I didn't know if anything was actually going to happen. I had no expectations. But right after I completed the 30 days, the craziest thing happened. I had a fan of the channel reach out on email, someone I'd never met before, saying they wanted to support and donate. Well, they sent me a $5,000 donation on PayPal. I was shocked, and this was at a time that I really needed that support. And this kind of thing is very rare. The only other time this ever happened was actually right after I did the Deepak Chopra 21-day abundance meditation challenge or whatever, and I had another fan of the channel send me $3,500. And that was on day 19 of the challenge, and I actually did make a video about that is all documented. But this was the only other time that this has ever happened to me. So this kind of solidified my belief in the law of attraction and manifestation, and how when we actually spend time rewiring our inner belief system, how our outer reality does change and we get evidence of it. So today I'm going back to see my girl Raquel with a new mountain to climb. Because all the things that I was struggling with when I first worked with Raquel, I feel like I have overcome. I remember at that time just feeling so alone in my journey. I was doing everything for this channel on my own. I didn't have any support. I didn't have a team. Since then, I have figured out how to make a great income doing this, doing what I love. I have a wonderful team that supports me. I don't have to do it all alone. I have incredible opportunities coming my way. I host retreats. I have my soul creator community. In so many ways, I have success. But I feel like I am at a complete plateau right now, and I've been stuck at the same level for the past couple years, and I am ready to just explode to the next level. Now I've got new struggles and new problems that I want to overcome, and I definitely feel this limitation inside of me that has been preventing me from overcoming them. I have so many expenses in my business now, and it is so stressful. Some months we're barely breaking even. Just last month I had a negative month. You know how shitty that feels. It's so stressful because now I have people that rely on me and I have new dreams that I want to create, and I feel like I'm still stuck in this like financial plateau and I just need to break through, which is why I'm going back to Raquel to help me with this. And this time we are going to document it because I have a feeling that by sharing this process, it might be able to help some of you with breaking through your own limiting beliefs and really overcoming any challenges or transcending any plateaus that you might be experiencing in your own life. So first, we are going to sit down with Raquel and do an interview so we can learn more about why this method actually works, and then we are going to actually document the session and show how it works in real time. But before we dive in, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and welcome to the Vibe Tribe. It's great to have you here. And make sure you subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't already. This is where I really uncover deeper insights and lessons, and I share the behind the scenes of being a creator and making these videos. So the link's in the video description. Let's go see my girl Raquel.
Hey, welcome. Oh, good to see you.
So good to see you too. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's time to climb a new mountain, Raquel.
So excited to see you.
Okay, so what do we do? Should we sit down?
Yeah,
And let's
sit
drop
down.
in.
Drop in, talk, catch up.
And then we'll
we'll
get
get right
in
into
there.
it.
Get in there. Okay, let's do it. So I did my best to give a little backstory and context to how we originally met and connected and how I worked with you in the first place.
Yeah.
And now we are sat here 4 years later.
Yeah.
And so much has happened in those 4 years for both of us. And I have seen such a massive shift in myself since the time we first worked together, and all the things that I was struggling with then. I feel I've alchemized, but now there are new things.
Of course, always.
Now there's like new limitations that I'm just like, how do I figure this out?
Yeah.
New challenges that I'm struggling with, and I had this inspiration to call you since I've been visiting home and just in this transition period after the fires in LA and not knowing what's next, and kind of like in this inquiry of what I want the next chapter to look like. And I thought, I need to call Raquel and I need to work with her again. And this time we should definitely document it. So how do you feel being here in front of the camera now?
Oh my goodness, like my heart is like so full hearing that. Yeah, because I mean, it has been such a journey for me too. And yeah, just so grateful that you listened to that and that you reached out and that it has had an impact on your life and most importantly, your beingness, right? I'm just so excited. It really confirms the reason I got into this work. And of course it was because of my own journey, and to hear that through following my heart and following my calling, that I'm able to guide and support others is, I mean, that for me is fulfilling on my intention and my dream, really.
Can you explain what is rapid transformational therapy?
So it's a hybrid therapeutic approach that was created by Marisa Peer. And it combines a few different types of therapies. So it's using hypnosis, so hypnotherapy, as the tool. And it brings in cognitive behavioral therapy, neurolinguistic programming, inner child healing, reparenting. So it really combines many very powerful therapeutic approaches into, this one therapeutic approach called Rapid Transformational Therapy. And it's designed to get to the root cause of issues, right? And so the way I like to explain it is there's a cascade that leads to results. And the way I see it and what I believe is it starts with how we see ourselves, right? The lens in which we view ourselves, because that gives rise to our thoughts and our feelings. And then our thoughts and our feelings are the precursor, give rise to the behaviors, the actions that we take or even that we don't take, which then lends itself to the results that we experience in our lives. And so with this approach, it really is getting to the genesis of that cascade. And that's why it has been so powerful for me and the folks that I'm just so blessed to be able to work with.
Yeah, what kind of results have you seen with your clients?
What comes to mind is, for example, someone I was working with around relationships. We worked on the internal world and what was going on and working through love and enoughness. And 40 days after the session, after years of not finding, someone that he was compatible with, he found his love, the love of his life, right? And so it's just these beautiful stories that it's truly, I always believe life is a mirror. And if we can look within to see what is it within me that is contributing to the results that I'm seeing in my external world.
Yeah, the beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world and our perception of reality so much informs what actually happens
For sure.
in reality. And I've seen that so many times. And at first I was really skeptical going into all of this work. It's like, is this real? Is this law of attraction actually legit? Is all of this stuff just woo-woo BS? And I've been on this journey for many years now. I've had evidence after evidence, like story after story, so many things in my own life that I've seen shift from shifting my internal belief system and doing this type of work. Can you explain in a very simple way, as best you can, what's happening in the session?
First, even before the session, I like to just get clear on what the session focus is, like what it is that you want to understand or gain or receive from the session. So that sort of just helps create the intention and helps anchor both of us in like, what is the session focus? And so when we get into the session, I help create this like focused attention, but also deep relaxation. And the focused attention is helping you visualize a specific thing, and that's through dropping into like a meditative hypnotic state, right? After that, we go back to 3 scenes that have all to do with the intention, whatever it is that you want to understand. And so this really helps to understand the genesis, the imprinting of, let's just say it's the like the constraint that's in the way. Like, where does imprint start? Who is involved? What did you say to yourself in this situation? And so it's kind of like it's detective work, like we're being a detective and trying to uncover where it all stemmed from. And then from there, let's just say there's like lots of different tools that I can pull from based on like what comes up, right? Because some people have very traumatic experiences, right? And so it's important to help them work through that. And so there's different tools that I would use in that situation. Then there is like this reparenting, like gentle part of like dialoguing with the hurt younger version and holding that space and saying the things to that little child that they may have never heard, right? And helping them process and make sense of what was going on. Then there's like an integration process, and like calling that inner child could be like calling that inner child like back home and upgrading into the version of yourself. Like, I no longer see through the eyes of my 4-year-old self, right? I'm upgrading you to be able to see through the eyes of pure love and freedom and, being unconstrained and untethered. So usually within the session too, I should be clear too that from sort of the interview before the session, I take like your language of what it is that you desire, how you want to feel, what it is that you want to step into, this new version of you, right? And so I create a customized audio that brings in a lot of that, brings in the ability to like visualize this new life, this new way of being, these feelings that you want to bring closer to you. And then I'll edit it, and that will be your customized audio that you listen to. That's just part of the process. I request that you commit to listening to the audio every day for 30 days, and that helps shift the neural passageways in your brain, because certain thoughts, like the more we have certain thoughts, then they become a belief. It's like we like ingrain them into our brains, right? And so when we're able to upgrade and update how we see ourselves And these new thoughts and these new feelings, like those then become more etched in, right? And upgrade these new neural pathways in our mind. So
in my experience, when I did the session with you and then this $5,000 kind of like came out of nowhere, and it happened right after I did the 30 days of hypnosis, how does that happen? Because I didn't actually take any new action, but I felt different.
That's why it's so incredibly powerful. Once you change that lens, your perspective, everything changes, right? Because when you're looking through a new lens, and when that gets updated, it sort of brings in, the law of vibration, right? It's everything in this world is vibration and frequency. And so when we're able to work through, something that was in our field, something that was in our subconscious, it shifts that vibrational frequency. And so we vibrate from a different level, different beingness.
How does it work? Why does it work? What's going on internally for it to actually tangibly work for someone?
Yeah, I would say like within the session, using the tool of hypnosis is just getting into a deeply focused state. So it's a state of focus, but also deep relaxation, just to help access the subconscious. So the part of us that literally remembers everything from our past. Using that and sort of like locating what it is that you want to understand. Like for me, it's locating, like someone will come to me for something, I'm having this challenge or whatever it may be, and helping sort of reverse engineer, okay, these are the results that they're experiencing and they're undesirable results. So how can we understand what is contributing to that? So it's important to look at fact, like what actually happened, versus stories and the meanings we create out of situations. That helps to process and make sense of something that was imprinted into the subconscious that hasn't been fully dealt with or integrated or processed. And the more that you're able to then redirect and see, oh, I understand the root of where this is coming from, that when something that same sort of situation, environment, whatever happens, there's no activation anymore.
I've talked about this so many times on the channel, so I feel like a broken record, but the subconscious is really running the show of our lives until you bring awareness to it, until you have conscious awareness of the actions and reactions and decisions that you're making in real time and why, and the beliefs that we have about what's possible in our lives. So we already did a pre-interview session on Zoom, but we are going to talk a little bit about what we're working on in this session, just for context before we dive in. So what questions do you have for me, Raquel?
Well,
what do you need to know about my subconscious brain?
Yes. The first was, there's a part of you that thinks it needs to control life circumstances or the circumstances of life. And when we kind of dug into that, it was like this need or belief that it's like this force, this striving to make things happen. And that hard work, it's like collapsing hard work and what it is that you want, right? So that collapse, and the need for certainty, the need for safety, and need for security also came up in that conversation as, when we distill it down, the essence of that part of you is like, that's actually what it's looking for.
Definitely, it's looking for a certain level of certainty and safety and control, and I guess it's wanting to feel safe to create, safe to express, and I think part of the link to the money is if I have financial security, then I can create what I want, I can do what I want, and if I have the financial security and the certainty of that, then I'm less threatened, and I'm at this threshold or this plateau of okay, well, what's the next level of business success and revenue coming in and resources and overflow, so this is not stressful, so that I feel more freedom to create. Because right now it feels like sometimes it's pulling teeth to just keep it going, and the creation process can feel stressful because I feel there's this limitation I have around being worthy of receiving more resources. And now I feel okay, this is where I'm comfortable, but the next level feels scary. I'm very excited to see what happens this time with no expectation
I have to completely let go of any expectation that something is gonna happen or some miracles.
Totally.
It's just like, it's not gonna work the same way if I had that expectation. So I'm just surrendering to whatever's meant to come through. So one of the most powerful ways that I've been able to reprogram my subconscious mind is through the practice of meditation, which is kind of like hypnosis, where you're going into a trance-like state, and hypnosis is more like focused attention, I think. But I wanted to share with you this really cool app that I've used for meditation and also hypnosis and other elements that are in RTT, including CBT, and they even have ASMR and breath work and all sorts of different incredible things. So it's called Aura, and it's basically this app that has also access to different coaches all over the world. It has all different types of meditations and soundscapes and mindfulness journeys. And so I just wanted to share this with you, which I'm gonna give you like a free trial to it.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
And also for anybody watching, you can get a free trial to this app called Aura. I'm gonna leave the link in the video description for the first 500 people and an additional 25% off your subscription. But I love this because there's just so much in here. It's kind of like the Spotify for mindfulness. I would encourage anybody that's watching this and feeling inspired to kind of break through their own limiting beliefs they're dealing with, to do a 30-day mindfulness practice using Aura. You'll get a free trial for 30 days. The link is in the video description for you. And thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Well, should we get into the session?
Let's do it. So before we actually begin the session, I'd love just to start by just creating a container, like a container of safety. And the way I like to do it, the way that we're gonna do it today is, let's start by, I'll have you light a candle, and then I'll light a candle, and then I will have you set your intention.
Yeah.
And so that really has to do with what it is that you would like to get out of the session, what it is that you would like to, the part of you that you'd like to connect with, to really gain some understanding and bring to awareness.
My intention for this session is to identify and alchemize any blocks that are stopping me from fully expressing my full creative potential and ability to be of the highest service.
Beautiful. And so now I just invite you to, I'm just covering it. So just opening the space, and I invite you to just get comfortable. Okay. Over here. So go ahead and just make yourself comfortable. Just go ahead and open up your eyes and look up as high as you possibly can, as if you're looking into your own eyebrows. Perfect. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And another deep breath in and breathe out. Just one more time, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you can just close your eyelids all the way down. Perfect. And the muscles and the nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. And in your mind's eye sky, you see 10 steps descending. And they could be 10 steps leading down to a beach, or 10 steps leading down to a gorgeous green lush garden. Just picture wherever you feel most safe, comfortable, and deeply relaxed. And I want you to imagine at the bottom of those steps, waiting for you, is the version of you that knows without a shadow of a doubt your limitless, unbound, untethered potential. And this part of you, is there greeting you on this journey and here to walk through with you on this journey. She's going to watch you as you go ahead and actually lift up your arms shoulder width, shoulder height, with your palms facing in. So go ahead and lift up your arms shoulder width, shoulder height, with your palms facing in. And I want you to picture, Sky, you have 2 incredibly powerful magnets in the palm of your hands. And I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and as I do, you're going to feel such a powerful pull of force drawing your hands together until they meet and touch when I count to 1. They're going to drop into your lap, and you're going to go even deeper, and you just let go. Your whole body just completely lets go. So on the count of 5, your arms are moving together, pulling together, drawing together. On the count of 4, the powerful pull, the force of these magnets just draw your hands together. The force is so incredibly irresistible. On the count of 3, your hands are moving together, drawing together, pulling together. And on the count of 2 and 1, your hands meet, touch, and they drop into your lap. You go much deeper and you are letting go. Somehow, some reason, there's a part of you that is feeling disconnected from the limitless potential of your creative possibility. And so we're going to go back to a few scenes that have all to do with the genesis of this feeling constraint in this area of creative potential. We're going back on the count of 5. You're drifting back to a vivid, vital, absolutely significant scene. On the count of 4, you're becoming younger, smaller, lighter, shorter. On the count of 3, years, months, weeks are just peeling away. And on the count of 2, you drift back to a scene, place, event that has all to do with a block in just tapping into your full creative potential. And as your head gently rocks from side to side, this scene is just springing to your mind so vividly. And so in this first scene, Sky, where are you? Is it daytime or nighttime?
I think it's daytime.
Are you inside or outside?
Outside.
And how old are you about?
It's 5 or 6.
And are you alone or are you with someone?
There's people around, like a few people.
Mm-hmm. And just describe to me, what is it that you're seeing, hearing, feeling, or more importantly, what is it that you're experiencing at 5 years old?
I am running around dancing, and I'm at this beach house we used to rent in the summer. Mm-hmm. I'm dancing to the Beach Boys. And I'm running like through the house and outside, mm-hmm. and going crazy, like dancing. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
So just repeat after me. I'm 5 years old. I'm 5 or 6 years old. I'm running around this beach house.
Running around this beach house.
Listening to the Beach Boys and dancing.
Listening to the Beach Boys dancing.
And what I'm feeling is?
What I'm feeling is free. Mm. It's like I feel judgment or something, but it's like I was feeling so, like having so much fun and so expressed, but then all of a sudden I felt like I couldn't.
Hmm. And I felt like I couldn't because?
I felt like I couldn't because I felt, I don't know what happened, but like something happened where I felt that I had to stop.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was.
Yeah. And so when I'm feeling judged.
When I'm feeling judged.
What that makes me feel is?
What that makes me feel is embarrassed.
Yeah. And when I'm feeling judged.
And when I'm feeling judged.
Then that means?
And that means I can't express myself.
Yeah. And I feel like I can't express myself because?
I feel like I can't express myself because I can't see anything other than that.
Yeah, that's all right. That's perfect. Yeah, the judgment, when you feel that judgment, that being tied to expression.
It's like the joy I was experiencing didn't feel safe because
you're doing great.
It's like I had to match the environment.
Yeah.
So I was experiencing so much joy and expression, but it didn't fit.
Who did you see? Who was in the room?
I feel like my parents were there.
So you were feeling into the energy of the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
right.
get that much more information.
That's all right, and this is perfect. So just repeat after me. When I was younger and felt judged,
When I was younger and felt judged,
I believed that I couldn't fully express myself.
I believed I couldn't fully express myself.
And now I act out that programming
And now I act out that programming by limiting my expression.
and I do that because
I do that because I feel that my expression is too much.
yeah. And if my expression is too much,
And if my expression is too much,
then that means
that means I'm not accepted.
yeah. And if I'm not accepted,
If I'm not accepted,
then that means
I'm not worthy of love.
because if my parents don't accept what I'm doing,
So my parents don't accept what I'm doing,
then that means
that means I'm alone.
what would you say is the most significant feeling in the scene?
A significant feeling is probably embarrassment.
Yeah. And go ahead and just release that scene. Take a deep breath in. And the cleansing breath out. And just release that scene. We'll come back to it. You're doing so great. So brave.
Raquel brought me back to 2 more memories, which were honestly kind of boring and could have seemed insignificant. But through the process, she helped me identify the feelings that occurred with these memories, what I made them mean about me and the world at this young age, to help me clearly identify the root cause of some of the ways I've been limiting myself and blocking my own expression and potential. If you want to see the full session, you can head to my Patreon. But for now, here's a little bit more of how the session unfolded to give you some insight into this process.
I want you to just share what it is that this little girl needed to hear in that moment of feeling constrained and blocked and embarrassed. Tell her what she needed to hear.
Your expression is what the world needs, and your expression and your joy is healing for everybody. Never stop expressing who you are and what feels joyful and alive and fun. And the world needs more fun and play.
And I want you to now take her hand and I want you to invite her into your life today, into a situation where you are dancing full out, like wild, free, alive. And show her that she is safe to fully express and that you will hold a container for her to allow her fullest expression to be welcomed, to be celebrated. So you can go ahead and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath in, filling up your lungs. And on the count of 2, 1, just when you're ready, you can just open up your eyes.
Why is it so tiring? I'm not doing anything, I'm just laying here. But then I feel like,
Totally.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like that was probably really boring for you guys. It was so boring.
No, I don't.
Nothing that exciting happens. Normally in my videos, I'm like,
Bawling.
ah! That was extremely boring, sorry. But it was just what was real, you know?
Totally.
It's not always,
It doesn't always
it's
have
not
to be
always
that way.
dramatic. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't always, it's not always this dramatic thing. Like that was just what it was. Do you feel like most of your sessions you do with people, is it always different or some
Always
like,
different. Like sometimes it's like
It's
literally
really
people
emotional.
literally just cry the whole entire time,
Yeah.
which is great.
I feel like the subconscious work is so important because in my experience, when I've done just normal talk therapy, or even in coaching containers where we're just talking through stuff on a conscious mind level, I often feel like I'm in a loop. And it doesn't actually change anything. But going on a subconscious level, you're going into a
brainwave state where you can rewire. And you can bring awareness to subconscious things you may be unaware of. And then the hypnosis part of actually now doing a hypnosis to reprogram will be the thing that actually changes the root of those beliefs.
Because you can see, right, that like when you were younger, let's just say like with the judgment thing, like you felt judgment and that was like a, you know, a kind of a cue, I need to shut this down so other people feel comfortable, right? And so it will be bringing in, you know, like working with that part of you that when this judgment arises, it's like you can recognize this maybe instinctual, like, okay, like I either need to be a certain way or be perfect, and recognize where that's coming from. Yeah. And then actually use that as an anchor of no, like actually I'm going to lean more into being fully self-expressed, right? Yeah. Because that is my true nature. And when I was younger, you know, we take on, and I'm sure if we were to talk to your parents, it would have been like, no, you know, like they would have had a completely different perspective of the situation. Right? And so I'm sure that's not the environment that they wanted to create, right? But for some reason, right? And it's just no fault of anyone, that was your perspective.
Thank you so much for sharing this session with me. Thank you for sharing your gifts with everyone today. I am going to be sharing a follow-up because we don't know what's going to happen after I go through the 30 days. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and subscribe to my newsletter, because that's where I share all of the deeper insights and processes and everything that's going on behind the scenes of this channel. And I'm so excited that Raquel is offering all of you something really special. So if you feel called to work with Raquel, where can they go to do that?
So you can go to my website, raqueldarowe.com, and you sign up for a discovery call, and that's just a short 30-minute opportunity just to get to know each other and see if we are a right fit. And if you do sign up, you receive 20% off until the end of June. And after June, it'll be 10% off to work together.
So make sure you tell her you came from this video, so you got your discount, and see if it's a good fit to work with Raquel. Yeah. Thank you, Raquel.
Thank you. Just so much appreciation and gratitude to you for trusting me and allowing me to be a guide for you on this journey.
100%. Thank you
so much love to you. Yeah.
Coming on the channel. And we'll see you on the next one. The adventure continues. Bye.
Thank you.